Hey, welcome, wonderful people. Thank you for all your support and wonderful wishes you've been giving us. Without you, we wouldn't be here, and your amazing words of encouragement motivates us to do even more. Thank you for your support. In this one, we want to talk about how we can make our cities look even more beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful places around the country, like this Amadu Bello Way in Victoria Island, Lagos. They say cleanliness is next to godliness. There's also another saying that goes this way: being poor is expensive. Yeah, this saying is very true to the world. One example is when a road is constructed in an area that doesn't have many paved roads. The surrounding unpaved and sandy roads will contribute to the deterioration of the paved one in no time. This is as a result of vehicles moving from unpaved roads to paved ones. They bring with them mud, sand, and all sorts of debris to the paved one. This also happens in areas that are completely paved, like here in Victoria Island, where you don't have sandy adjoining streets. In these areas, they are caused by heavy trucks that supply building materials like sand, cement, gravel, etc. to construction sites. The companies building on these sites should set up tire washing areas on the entrance to their sites. This will prevent vehicles leaving the sites from bringing mud or sand to the paved roads, thereby making the road look untidy. We should be treating our roads like our sitting room. No one enters his sitting room with mud under his shoes. When it rains, rainwater washes everything into the drainages, and the drainages will get clogged. When it gets clogged, the water doesn't have anywhere to go. It will flood the road. When the road is always flooded, they start to break apart. It's obvious that the government is aware of this problem. That's why they construct new roads with open drainages. This is to make it easy for evacuation of the drainages when they get clogged. But it is also a magnet for mosquitoes when there is flood water in the drainages. Okay, that's one side of the story. The second part is the health hazard that dust poses. When a paved road becomes sandy and cars drive on them, the sand gets crushed to finer particles, which will turn them into dust. The dust is a health hazard for people living in the area and passers-by. Constant sweeping of the paved road won't solve the problem because the sweepers simply can't keep up. It's like pouring water in a leaking container. It will never hold. Still talking about sweepers, it's time we started using these trucks instead of human sweepers. These trucks are more efficient and can cover more distance within a few minutes. Also, sweeping should be done early in the morning or midnight. How does this analysis relate to the saying that being poor is expensive? It does relate because the reason every urban road isn't paved is because of lack of funds. When you are poor, you can't buy things in bulk and get a bargain. You are forced to buy the things you need bit by bit because you can't afford to buy in bulk. And over time, you find out that you have bought a quantity that is more than the bulk you would have bought in the beginning, making it more expensive for you. It's just like buying a home with mortgage. It becomes more expensive because you aren't paying cash. Interest will be added into the repayment because it's a loan that you took. What this means is that the people do not get their money's worth when a road that is supposed to last 8 or more years falls apart within a few months. These roads do not come with guarantee from the construction companies. Even if they did, the guarantee will never cover flooding. At this rate, we will never get out of the cycle of road construction and reconstruction. Can constant maintenance prevent these roads from falling apart under a year? Yes, it does to an extent, but it defeats the purpose of constructing a road with drainages on both sides. You have to put in many man-hours on clogging drainages all the time. Just like sweeping of the roads, the cycle never ends. It is very expensive to clean the road this way. The extra money wasted on the maintenance should be used to pave adjacent and surrounding roads to reduce maintenance frequency. Just like when a kitchen sink overflows, you first of all turn off the tap before scrubbing the kitchen floor. If you don't turn off the tap, that means the scrubbing will never end. We should tackle the source of the problem and not try to manage the problem. The average lifespan of asphalt is from 10 years to 25 years or more, but this is entirely dependent on a lot of factors. Apart from the factors we've talked about, road traffic also degrades the road faster. If there are more paved roads in an area, their longevity will be higher than where there are fewer paved roads. This is because many vehicles are more likely to use the inner roads to avoid traffic on the major roads. When people plan their trips within the city, they always plan to drive through paved roads, irrespective of the fact that taking shortcuts through unpaved roads might be shorter. No one likes to drive on unpaved roads. The concrete roads last longer, up to 40 years or more. It might be cost prohibitive at first, but it becomes cheaper in the long run, considering how many times the asphalt road needs to be resurfaced in a 30 to 40 year period. Asphalt roads are more expensive in the long run. If money is not a problem, concrete should be used on all major roads where there is heavy traffic, and asphalt used in inner streets. What can the government do to help the situation? There are two options. Let's see the expensive one first. They should construct all roads the same time. Yes, all of them. All urban roads that are in a particular state or region should be constructed with drainages on both sides that will connect to major drainage systems across the state. States that do not have money to build all the roads at the same time should get a loan to fund them. If this is done, it will break the cycle of road rehabilitation and reconstruction that receives substantial budgetary allocations every year. They will also need engineering teams that will constantly inspect the roads for potholes. Potholes must be repaired immediately they are found, because as they say, a stitch in time saves 9. Okay, let's see the less expensive second option. The second option of managing this situation is to prevent vehicles from accessing paved roads from unpaved ones without washing their tires. The authorities should seriously enforce this to keep our streets cleaner and more beautiful. This can be achieved by simply installing pressure washers around the entry points of these roads. Motorists will have to pay a small fee to get their tires washed. This can also be implemented in many gated estates so as to have a serene and clean environment. This brings us to new estates that are under construction, like the Awka Millennium City in Anambra. For those who are not aware, this is not the full size of the estate. It's actually 100 hectares. What we are looking at is the first phase, which is 25 hectares. This project is a collaboration between Anambra State Government and a private investor. A lot of you have been demanding for updates on the construction of the Awka Millennium City. This is it. As you can see, the road construction is ongoing. With drainages on both sides, they are also laying water pipes and other infrastructure. What they should do is to make sure that when construction of the home starts, that tire washing of trucks that will supply materials to building sites are enforced. If that is not done, these roads they are building will break apart under a few months. The whole drainages will become clogged with mud and sand. Before you know it, the whole estate will look like a mess. They should also install pressure washers by the main entrances. This will ensure that vehicles driving in do not bring with them mud or sand into the estate. This is applicable to other estates like already mentioned. The sand or mud that you see on the road today will become dust tomorrow and end up on walls of buildings and in people's homes. That's the reason many people don't like using bright colors to paint their homes, because in a few months the dust on the roads will deface the building, making them look ugly. Dust increases the cost of home maintenance and contributes a greater part to why our environment don't look as beautiful as it should. In some streets where you have a lot of greens, where people planted trees and grasses, dust settles on the leaves on these plants, defacing their serenity. There are a lot of beautiful roads in many cities in the country, most especially Lagos. Using the methods outlined in this video will make most of the roads last longer and look more beautiful. More trees needs to be planted. Also, developers of new estates should endeavor to plant trees, because trees help in reducing heat in the urban areas, which can reduce the temperature of the air around us, thereby making the breeze cooler. Trees also absorb carbon dioxide, which reduces pollution in our environment. Sidewalks on major roads should be wider to accommodate more people, because as it seems, most sidewalks are slabs on top of gutters that can only accommodate 2 people at a time. The pedestrian is the king of the road. If adequate sidewalk is not provided, it makes people stray onto the road, which could lead to accidents. Sidewalks can be widened by reclaiming the setback that many buildings encroach on. When building road projects, we should always bear in mind that we have a huge and growing population. Okay, wonderful people, we hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that. Till next time, bye bye.